with another mail.
The screen is visible.
No,
Still not. Okay. Sorry. Now it's visible.
yeah,
Okay, so the webhook concept we are just looking up. So this is the field basically whenever we are creating with the workflow. So what is this field like URL method you are just asking? What is this module? What is this? So first name, specific name of webhook, you can as per your choice, you can put it the name. Description also you can just define in a some word regarding what you the webhook is there. URL and notified, it means the API URL for third party application. It may be Zoho or maybe outside. So that we are just find from the REST API. If we have the REST API, so we can find this URL, REST API URL, and the same URL we are just putting here. Because from the REST API, we can easily get or put the data. Okay, that's why we are just taking a name of REST API because REST API is accessible. Now the method. There is some method, like which method you want to use. Like post me, you can just push the data. Like we have some data like name, last name, first name inside the Zoho CRM, and we want to push that data into the third party, like in the payment gateway for Razorpay. We want to push that customer into the Razorpay, and after that they just done the payment, and now we get the successful status. So for getting status from Razorpay to the CRM, we are using the get. So first we push the information, after that we get the information. So this is some method we have, kind of CRUD operation in the API. We have this. So we can post or we can get. So we have the multiple method which you already see in the drop down. Other it is asking for module. Module is the pick list if we are using the Zoho. So there is all the module is coming, which is default is available in the Zoho CRM, like lead, contact, account, and etc. There is multiple module is showing. Now it is showing the append entity parameters. What kind of parameter we are just going to be passed. Parameter name, we can put it any name, we can put it, it is not compulsory like the same name, but it can be identified. Corresponding parameter value we are just selecting. Parameter value means like if it is email, so we are just request that parameter, like email we are just asking, like I'm just passing the unique ID, like record ID if I just want to update. So I just want to ask with the ID. So in the parameter name, that is the ID, and that value I'm just selecting from the drop down. That lead ID, contact ID. So like this way, we can select the parameter. It may be from any module which we have selected in this drop down. Okay, upon custom parameter, whatever you have created the custom or there is like token or these also we are just passing. So this in the example we are just look into that how a pair we are just putting. So in the custom, like we are using any API or we have some authorization. So for that authorization, we are just passing the client ID, client secret, the access token. So for that, we are just passing this information in the custom parameter, which we are just for configuration, we have created some part. So if we are using in the Zoho, that is not needed. In some platform it is needed, but not. But in the third party, mostly it will be needed. Preview, you can preview your URL. It means your endpoint. So for creation of webhook, we have multiple. We can go create a webhook from system. So let's open the CRM. So inside the action, we can find the webhook directly. Whatever webhook we have created, we can see here all the webhook. So this webhook we already created previously. So here this is the correct URL which we are just passed. This is the parameter. It is like lead. Name we are just passing. Module we have selected lead. Parameter value we have selected lead ID. After that, in the rule we have this association, like in the workflow we are just associated this one. So let's again go through with this. So directly webhook we can want to see in the action we have. And this another option we can create through the workflow also. So first we create a webhook associated. So here first they are just created a webhook. So for creation of webhook, what we needed, name we can put it, URL, the rest API URL, endpoint we need to put it. Method, you want to get the information or you want to push the information. After that, select the module. So here you just mention the parameter, that a variable you can put it anything. Account ID, module I have selected the account, and against that account ID is the value. So in the account ID it's going to like the data which we are just passing, the account ID. This is the custom, basically this is the custom part we can create. If we have the auth token, we can put it the value. Scope, it is a code. For that we can create, because Zoho Creator is the customizable app, or we can create from the scratch. So that particular app have their unique things, so we need to authorize for that, and we need to create a REST API for the creator app, and after that we are just going to be used API. So this is for creator, that's why we are mentioned the auth token and scope. Scope is nothing but whatever CRUD operation you want to perform, that is shown here. Now this is which I'll already explained how going to be authorized for console and all. So right now we are just skip that part because we covered this in previous session. For like upcoming session, we just look into the with the flow we can form, we can check. Thing is there. So the major part is only this. Like this way, we are just going to create a webhook. Add it in. So this is the end user. This they have just already, they want to trigger this webhook through the Zoho flow. So maybe they have integrated uh, another third party app with the flow, and they through the Zoho flow they just want to uh, push the data in another app. So first the middleware is the webhook. So right now what is happening? This name we have we are just get or fetch the data from Zoho Flow. This is the REST API for the whatever they are just going to. So lead module, inside the lead module, they just want to update that record. In the lead module, this is the this value key we are just passed. This is the module which we are just taking. Inside the module, this field we are taking, because the lead ID is the unique ID. So nothing we have created the custom parameter and defined, because we are just pushing that data. So this they have just created here. Let's check if that is working, because we are using the trial account, so maybe that is not working. Only the URL part is reflecting. Page is not found. Okay. So I think you know how we are just going to create that webhook. This only we are just creating the reason we are integrated the third party app with the Zoho CRM with the help of webhook, rather than we are writing a function. We can simply create a webhook. We can put it the REST API here, select a module, in which module we are just going to update a record or push the record. Simply we can just pass the parameter which is mandatory, values is mandatory or matching with that. And after that you can just save it whenever any record is going to be. So this webhook is calling for any workflow, any button. So whenever the workflow is trigger or run, it's automatically webhook is running. When the workflow is running, webhook is running. After webhook running, it is calling that and URL. After and URL, it is checking the parameter and the values. And when it is checking that values, that value is content that data. Or if we are like capturing the information from anywhere, so what is happening? Workflow is running, webhook is running, and URL is hitting. After that, checking the method, what method is running. So with that method, the data is going to be fetched. So this is the basically background overview of webhook. Still, have you any doubt?
Yeah, like you explained about authorization, like how to connect with the third party other than Zoho application.
Okay, so if we don't have the REST APIs, then we need to like done the authorization and doing the like access token, reference token that we need to generate. If we have the REST API, then only we can use this method. If we don't have the REST API, so we can generate the token, record, access token. Then we can parse that detailing the custom parameter, and then we can use this. So there is a multiple way for using a webhook. The simple way, we have the REST API, we can hit the data post or get whatever. And after that, we just pass the values and hit that URL. This is the easiest way. Other part, there is a multiple way to like hitting the webhook, because right now there is a simple thing. In the CRM, we have the global variable part also. So suppose right now we are just passing this fixed URL. That URL also we can change as per the global variable. So whenever you are just working with the webhook, then you can easily understand how it is working, how we can customize this thing. But for the default understanding, I think that is sufficient. And for the token or API part, token generation and these things, so we will study that part also. So that is when we will study. Like is REST API auth. It is upcoming. In the upcoming classes, we can run this thing using the Postman. Whenever we are using the Postman with the Zoho API, then we are creating a auth token, refresh token, access token, and with the client secret ID console, everything we are just working on that. Then you got the API part, how we can easily access the API. So right now you just understand one thing. The endpoint URL, we can just put it here. That URL, how we are just capturing, how we are just putting in upcoming video, I can explain this URL part, because every platform have their own REST API URL endpoint. If I show you for mm, Zoho CRM API documentation. So in the API documentation is also available, like get record. So and URL is there for every module. So this is the and URL, and this is the authorization. This is the token, and this ID, whenever we are just generating from the console, this unique ID we are just going to be generate, and this we can change as per generation. Whatever ID current time we are generating for 10 minutes, it is going to be changed. Auth or token. And for this is the and URL. So like this, we have the this field last name. So that could be variable, because last name is going to be changed again and again. So then for if we are just moving into the searching part, then it going to be changed as per the requirement. So this is we are just learning slowly on that part. We come in future, but first the customize. So every module we have this thing. So this we are talking about the get record. So say default they are just giving module API name. You can put if it is lead. So lead API link name is we have the lead. So get slash lead name. So here we have leads. So we need to change the module name if we want to get the record. So like this way, endpoint is going to be changed. So this URL is the same for like this is only for the CRM. If we push the data from anyone, so we can mention that URL here. But if we like third party product we have, so and URL is going to be changed and is where we are pushing the data. If we get the data into the CRM, then the same URL we can put it here and it is going to be run. But now here we are just post that data into this Twilio. Twilio is one kind of IVR or SMS service third party app. So simply what we are just going to be do, this is our endpoint because we are just pushing that data into this URL. So from the CRM, it is going to be get the data and hitting in this URL. In whenever we are just hitting the API, so we finalize the endpoint and URL, and this one is the end URL. So for creation this URL, we whenever we are just talking about the postman part, then it is going to be happen. Now it's clear.
Yeah.
Almost like so okay, do one thing first. You explain me what you understand with the webhook, why we are using.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, we use it for data transfer from one application to another application, like or third party. Suppose we
Mhm,
create a record in Leads or any kind of module, so
mhm.
automatically the data which we enter in this lead, it transfers to the another application or another third party simultaneously. Suppose we create a lead, uh,
Mhm.
what are the details we entered, so the same details will be transferred to another application.
Okay, so basically, whatever the functionality we are just going to be do, so you got the point why we are using the webhook. So is there no doubt? So for the third party integration or data transferring, we are using the webhook. The process, right now we have the trial, that's why I cannot able to use. But definitely, if we I have the live account and I have this thing, so I can show you how it is working. Okay, so whenever we are just working on the API part, then I'll show you how this is working.
like
Okay,
like
because with the help of Postman we can do, because Postman is working for trial account. So through the Postman, not a third party product, through the Postman we can do.
yeah, like I have a confusion how to integrate with third party, like other than Zoho.
Not getting you.
Like how to integrate with application with other than Zoho. Like, I got an idea about like how to integrate with the Zoho apps from Zoho one application to another, or how to do with a third party other than Zoho application. Like,
Okay, yeah, that is basically for the third party. So that's why I'm just saying that Postman is the third party basically. So for API calling, we are using the Postman. So that is not any third party product, but through that Postman, you can easily understand what exactly it's working, because right now we don't have any third party product and we don't have the REST API. So if we have the, like if we sign up any third party product, like this is the Twilio. Twilio is using for SMS process. In the bulk, if anyone is want to update a bulk SMS. So for bulk SMS, we need a phone number. So as per the Zoho CRM, we are storing a contact information or in the lead informations. So in the lead, we have lot of contact numbers. So now what we just want, like every week that webhook is calling through the Twilio. So whatever lead we have in the system, we just push that contact into the Twilio system for sending a SMS. So first, what we need to be do, we need to push that lead into the Twilio, all the leads which have the contact numbers. So here we have the first criteria. Twilio is the third party. It is not the Zoho product. So now what we are just going to do, when we just mentioned the name and description method, we want to post the data, basically push that data into the Twilio. So Twilio is the endpoint where we are just push that data. So this is the REST API URL. REST like API URL where like inside that account, this is like Twilio. This in the accounts, we are just pushing the data. Now we are not finalized which data we are pushing, but we method we finalize, we want to push, like post is like push, and URL, the REST API URL, like the same. We have the Zoho document for API, the same kind of document we have for Twilio. So while studying that document, we finalize that URL we want to push into the accounts in the Twilio. So this and URL I just mentioned, the journal I'll just authorize journal, it is here. So now here I can select the module. So in the, like in which module, like which record, like lead I'm just telling here, but now there I'm just selecting task. So whatever task I'll just mention inside the Zoho CRM, against that task module, this parameter I have, like this is the mandatory field. Whatever data we have in the system, this data must be there. And with this information, that information is pushing into the Twilio. So this this is the so I think you got this thing, module and parameter. So this is the parameter you have, just like whatever API name we have in the Twilio, that name you can just mention here. This is for the CRM parameter, this is for the Twilio parameter. So whenever you just map this parameter, whenever you hit this API, this URL, it is going to be created in the Twilio. So whenever this record this with this information, whatever task we have created in the Zoho CRM, whenever this workflow or webhook is hitting, that parameter is hitting, URL is hitting, so record is going to be created in the Twilio like third party product. So whenever that data is pushing into the Twilio, so after that Twilio is working their own process. So whatever process after that data, it is processed for that. The webhook work is completed. Is that clear?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, so this is the whole basically process. So what we are just learning in the Postman API, that is like this URL we have this connection part also. So in this connection, what we are just using, and like right now we are just talking this Twilio product. Rather than Twilio product, we are using the Postman URL and we try to hit that webhook and try to push that data into the Postman, and with the same Postman you can see the data without any third party app. But Postman is a third party, so we are using that URL here. Got it? So that we are just doing when we are learning about the Postman. Is that clear?
Yeah, okay, got it.
Okay. So let me check for today. Okay, Zoho workflow and flow. Zoho workflow we are not going through, I think. Not explain that. So I think workflow is also a major part in the Zoho CRM. Just allow me 2 to 3 minutes. We will start with the Zoho workflow rule. Okay, let's start with the workflow rule. So in the workflow rule, what we are doing here, we have lot of actions inside the Zoho CRM. One of that webhook, but there is almost like 10 to plus action is there. So one by one, we can just go through that actions. So how we are calling that action? Is there any criteria we are just mention, or something is happening, or any condition like in any specific condition we are just trigger any API, any field update, any email, so that we want to trigger off any condition, so we are going to use the workflow rule. Okay, so my screen is visible, Pawan?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So how we are creating, go to the setting. After that, inside the automation, we have the workflow rule. Simply, we can create a workflow rule after clicking the create rule. Select a module like lead, account, deal. So let me select the lead module. Uh, Let's select different one. Quotation, I'll just take it. So I'll put it this description. You can put it why we are we use this rule in detail. So if anyone is going to be use this flow, so they, after reading the description, they know why we are using this workflow rule. So simply clicking off next, we are enter inside the workflow rule. So when it means kab, basically in which criteria it's going to be hit. First step is basically like whatever we are just performing inside this system, we have certain conditions. So if I select the record action, so record action means if any action we are performing on the particular record, it may be create, edit or delete. Rather than this, I think nothing is there. You can think if it is there. So there is nothing. Edit is a update basically. So this 4 CRUD operation we have. Or if I just select a date and time field, we have date and time field. So in any module, if we are using the date or time field or any specific date we want to perform this action, so we can put it. Or any field, if like I'll just select this field. So this is the date and this I'll select this field. So on there is a condition whenever anyone is entering the data inside this field, so when it is going to be hit. So on the creation, like whenever it's entering like 10 of January, so 10 of January it is going to be update on. Like same thing, there is a multiple filter. One business day to one day before, today, weekly, monthly. And if you want to custom, you can mark as custom. So if I just put it after 1 year, so anyone is selecting this date like 10 January. So after 1 year, it is going to be hit. If I'm just selecting on, so at that same time, it is going to be hit. Now the date is going to be fixed. We fix it. Now in our day we have 24 hours. So for a whole 24 hours, in which time we are just going to be hit that workflow. There is a specific time you can put it the time, like whatever time. Now that time, that workflow you want to hit for once every month or every year. So there is a multiple condition. As per the requirement, we are just going to be update or put it the condition. So after that is the notes. So notes we have some fields in the Zoho CRM. The note field. The history is also generated on the note field. So whenever anyone is adding a notes, if we want to trigger a mail or something, so on that part we do. So mostly we are just doing on the record action. If it is create, edit or delete. So let me create putting a condition on creation. After that, next. Now here we are just putting the conditions. So when it means in the quotation module, it on quotation module, if any record is going to be create, for condition if matching, if you want to match any criteria like account name is not, should not be empty, so there is a multiple, so it should be there. If not, if their account name is blank, then this workflow is stop in the condition, it is not calling any action after that. So right now let's look into this. So we have this much action. So first we are just trigger when, like in create it is going to be trigger. After that it is checking the condition. If that condition is fulfilled, then it is going to be called this action. Another it is stop here and just out of this workflow. So now let's go through with the instant action. Let's update the field. So I'm just creating, this is field update. field. Now we need to select the field. Let me select the age and update for 29. So, and after that, I'll just associate it. The action is going to be set, and it's associated with this workflow. Now let's save it and try to run. This we have created in the quotation module. So let's check for quotation. Okay, I'll try to create new quotation. So there is one field, account name. It is not going to be blank. So let's select first this field. This subject is, save it. Okay. Okay, let's select from account name. In the quotation, product need to be selected. Default is there. Let's save it. Okay, in the timeline, we can check if that workflow is hitting or not. Okay, this field update is done. So this workflow we have right quotation ICS, and the age was updated blank to 29. Previously it's blank, but now it is update a 20 with 29. And the through field update action is the field update we have selected. So in the blue link, if you click, you directly redirect on that workflow field update. So let's check if that age field is update or not. So this is the age field. Now it is updated with the 29. So like this way, we can update the field through the workflow. So now you can see the field update, this, and now we can just go with the automation workflow rule. This we have associated with this field update. Is there any doubt while creation of any workflow?
Yeah, no, ma'am.
Okay, so we like go through with one action, that is field update. Now we have same kind of, we have lot of actions. The webhook is also there. So webhook also we are calling from the workflow. So in the workflow, we are putting the conditions, like in which scenario or when it is going to be hit. So for adding a condition, okay, now we can test for another also. We need to create another one because we just put it on the creation part. Now I'm not selecting a account name. Okay. So see, that workflow is not calling because as per condition, it is not going to be met. It is create, but that condition is not going to be met. It is not empty because it is empty here. So that's why from here, age is blank, same. It is not going to be updated. So like this way, if we got any kind of requirement related to the field update with the static value, we can do. So there is a lot of action we can like go through from like tomorrow. We can just go through because there is a lot of we can cover tomorrow in tomorrow training session. We can cover all the things. Okay. So for today, that's it. I think you got the things which we have discussed. Uh, the webhook part also you got the main cause, main reason why we are creating a webhook. So it will take time to understand, but yeah, basic thing if you got the reason why we are using this functionality and what is the functionality, so it is easy to use. Like if you got some kind of like requirement from the client side, like if you got the third party integration, so you heard about like we can use the webhook, we can use the functions, we can use the like Zoho flow for that. So on that part you can explore. If you explore, so you can implement whatever the easiest way. But you know about the things, what is the option for that. So that kind of option you know now. The webhook is also a one of that option. You can call the third party product in that. Got it? Okay then.
Yeah.